Pretty soon we'll be crossing Lake Pontchartrain on a trestle that is the longest rail bridge over water in the world.
Today I will be traveling on board Amtrak Train 19, the Crescent, from New Orleans to Wilmington, Delaware. I arrived early to the New Orleans Union Passenger Terminal, which is an intermodal facility. It's served by Amtrak, Greyhound, and local transit in the form of city buses and a streetcar line. The station is large and clean, if a little dated. There are some beautiful mosaics along the walls, showcasing some of the unique history of New Orleans. The station has a well-stocked convenience store and a Subway restaurant for waiting passengers. There is also a small, unstaffed lounge for sleeping car passengers, but it was quite crowded, so I did not film inside. My train departed the station almost an hour late because of an equipment issue, so I had the chance to see the Sunset Limited depart, headed toward Los Angeles. Once the call was made to board, I made my way to the platform to board my Viewliner II sleeping car. It wasn't long after I got situated in my room that we had departed because we were already behind schedule.
We're just pulling out of New Orleans Union Passenger Terminal on the Crescent, train number 20, headed toward New York. Though I will be getting off the train in Wilmington, Delaware. I'm in one of the brand new Viewliner II Roomettes. I'm actually in the baggage dorm, the very back car on the train. We just passed under a freeway interchange between US 90 and I-10, Claiborne Avenue. And here's some Amtrak maintenance facilities. Right now passing underneath Interstate 10. I-10 takes an odd little angle toward downtown New Orleans rather than a straight route through the city. These rather odd looking but famous to Louisiana sign gantries. An odd triangular shape. I remember seeing a few of those in Pennsylvania as a kid. Going through the mid-city neighborhood. We are currently directly underneath I-10. We're now following, we're headed east along Interstate 610, which is the more direct route driving through New Orleans. Going around a bit of a horseshoe curve here. You couldn't pay me enough money to drive across that bridge. Passing through some of the more scenic parts of the New Orleans area. Passing under Interstate 10. Traveling east-northeast. This is Lake Pontchartrain. It's about 20 miles across. Maybe on the clearest day you could see some land. Not a very deep lake. Nevertheless, huge. We're entering the Bayou Sauvage National Wildlife Refuge. Lake Pontchartrain covers about 630 square miles. It is saltwater. It's an estuary. And here in a few minutes, we'll be coming up to the bridge as we cross the eastern part of Lake Pontchartrain. So the blue dot is us, and our bridge closely parallels the US 11 bridge, which you can see. So we've slowed down a little bit. We're approaching trestle over the lake. There's only one track, and when you look out of the window on either side of the train and you look down, all you see is water. Traveling 60 miles per hour right now across the bridge. There is a bascule section of the bridge closer to the Slidell side so that ships can pass through. But overall, this lake has an average depth of about 13 feet. Slidell, Louisiana. This is the town of Pearl River, Louisiana, the last community in Louisiana before we enter Mississippi. We're about to cross the old Pearl River. This is not the state boundary. The state boundary is the Pearl River, which on the map appears to be significantly smaller than the old Pearl River that we just crossed. We just entered Mississippi. The first stop is Picayune, Mississippi.
The Crescent route features Amtrak's Viewliner rolling stock. These cars are single-level with modified Amfleet cars for coach seating, Viewliner 1 sleeping cars, and a Viewliner II baggage dorm, which has both checked baggage storage and roomettes. The roomettes and bedrooms are nearly identical to their Superliner counterparts, but with some key differences that I'll point out later. There is no dining car on this train, so sleeping car passengers eat their meals in their rooms.
This is Hattiesburg, Mississippi. The passenger station is on the opposite side of the train.
Between Laurel and Meridian, Mississippi, there was a medical emergency on board. One of the passengers had to be evacuated by ambulance at this grade crossing. But after just a couple of minutes, we were quickly on our way again.
So I'm here on train 20. Left New Orleans this morning. Scheduled to leave New Orleans at 9:15. We didn't leave until about 10:05. But as you can see, I'm in one of the brand new Viewliner II baggage dorm cars. So 2/3 of it is roomettes. I believe it's also where the crew sleeps. And then 1/3 of it is baggage storage when you check your bags. So we just passed through Laurel, Mississippi, headed toward Atlanta. And these are just beautiful sleeping cars. Really comfortable. 4 power outlets. All new interiors. I checked out the upper berth. The mattress thickness is much improved over what's on Superliners for the upper berth. Just had lunch a little while ago. They are still serving the flexible dining meals on the Crescent. I know that's a big sticking point for a lot of people. It was actually pretty good. Wasn't that bad at all. So I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the rest of the ride. I'll be getting off the train in Wilmington, Delaware tomorrow. We're entering Meridian, Mississippi. A lot of abandoned buildings here. Dilapidated remains. Interesting building fronts right there.
this is an Amtrak station stop. It's really interesting to me how the rail transportation system, for at least for passenger rail, has changed so dramatically over the last 100 years. And if you take, for example, this station here, we have a couple of island platforms and then a side platform over by the station. And you can see the remnants of old tracks. This one track directly to the left, not sure if it's even still in use. Top of the rail isn't too rusty, so it probably is in use. But there's space for another track that is no longer there. At one time, this was a Union Railroad station, meaning it served more than one railroad, and it was probably a busy place. Now it sees one passenger train per day in each direction, which is more than what we see in Tucson. Got a couple of vintage rail cars, passenger cars here on the left. Obviously in disrepair, would be neat if they could be restored. And there's the end of the platforms. This is the last station stop in Mississippi. Next stop will be Tuscaloosa, Alabama, home of the University of Alabama. As we roll through some more abandoned industry. I had my lunch just prior to the Laurel station stop. They're serving the flexible dining menu on the Crescent route. I had the kofta kebabs, which is the only vegan entree on the menu, and it was actually quite good. A little bit on the salty side, but it was pretty good considering it's a pre-made meal that's heated on board the train. Our train is currently on a siding. We're near the Alabama-Mississippi state line, and we have to stop to allow the southbound Crescent train pass us.
You walked right past. I figured he would come out and follow. Come on. Is that one moving too?
That's train 19, the southbound Crescent.
I just realized we were actually stopped.
Just crossed under I-359 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. This should not be a long stop, but I guess we gotta block the crossing of this 4-lane road while we're here. We're departing Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Not too long of a wait for these cars. Next stop is Birmingham. Largest city in largest metro area in Alabama. I believe Huntsville, city limits, has a higher population than Birmingham now. So off to the left is the stadium where the University of Alabama plays football. More University of Alabama facilities for sports. There's I-59 headed toward Birmingham. And we are now arriving into beautiful Birmingham. You can see many of the downtown sites here. A little bit of a joke, obviously. We're about an hour and 40 minutes late. Crossing under I-65 right now. Bit of an encampment of unhoused people under the freeway bridge. Seems to be epidemic in so many cities these days, even small towns. Downtown Birmingham, Alabama's largest metro area. Plane in the distance, preparing to land at, I think it's Shuttlesworth International Airport. Going by memory here. This train station is an intermodal facility. You can see it's also transit. I believe Greyhound also serves this station. If I remember right, this station also, like Meridian, Mississippi, is a lot bigger than its current level of activity should make it. Looks like maybe they have done some updating. Make it look a little nicer. I'm guessing those tracks over there have not seen use in many years. Birmingham is also a fresh air stop, so you can get off the train and stretch your legs for 10 or 15 minutes. But don't wander too far away, because the train will leave without you if you're not back on board. Here's those other tracks that are not in very good condition. Departing Birmingham. I'm guessing that Amtrak employee was standing out there for a reason, and that's why the train probably stopped. This is the Coosa River in Alabama. I believe it's wider than it normally is because I think it's a reservoir. We're headed toward Anniston. That's our next station stop. We're about to pass by the Talladega Superspeedway. However, that's on the other side of the train, so I don't think we'll be able to see it. Sun's getting lower in the sky too. We're due into Atlanta at about midnight. Okay, so I think tonight I'm going to sleep in the upper berth because it has a much thicker, softer mattress than the Superliner upper berths do. And I've already set up the bed, which pulls down from the ceiling. So this right here are 2 steps, and you climb up those steps to get up here. And I will open those curtains because I'd like to be able to see out. There's a lot more vertical clearance here. Like you can actually sit up while you're in the bed, unlike in the Superliner. And this way, if I get up in the middle of the night and I want to just come sit down, then I can sit down here. So anyway, just wanted to show you what that would look like in nighttime configuration. These chairs at the bottom will lay flat and form a lower berth as well.
I just woke up about 45 minutes ago. We're passing through Greensboro, North Carolina. Though we were behind schedule by an hour and 45 minutes yesterday, we're right on time right now. So we made up a lot of time. Scheduled to get into Wilmington right on time at 3:45 this afternoon, 3:46. And we just crossed the Virginia state line. That's US Highway 58. And we're about to follow along US Highway 29. As we enter Danville, Virginia. Just a few miles to the west is Martinsville, Virginia, where there is a half-mile NASCAR track that's pretty famous. We're coming into Danville, Virginia, station stop. Some interesting industry over there. The rustiness on these rails would indicate they're not used very often. This track just disappears into the weeds. Seems to be a former island platform here at Danville. Couple of unused, abandoned tracks. And we're crossing the Dan River. cross a trestle after leaving Lynchburg Station. We just crossed the James River just on the north side of Lynchburg. That was the Ty River. You could see the Blue Ridge Mountains in the background. We're approaching Charlottesville. This is Charlottesville, Virginia, home of the University of Virginia. This is Manassas, Virginia. We're in Metro Washington, D.C. Just made a station stop. Should be in Washington, D.C. in 30 minutes. We're running late though. About an hour and 15 minutes late. We sat at the Charlottesville station for 75 minutes because of signal issues with CSX. Making our station stop at Alexandria, Virginia, just across the Potomac River from Washington, D.C. The building is the George Washington Masonic National Memorial. Never been there, not exactly sure what the purpose is beyond to memorialize the first president and his Freemasonry. This is a fairly popular station stop in Virginia. On the other side of the train is a Washington Metro subway station. is the George Washington Parkway on the other side of the metro tracks, and the Washington Reagan National Airport just beyond that. This is Northeast Regional Train 95 headed toward Norfolk. You could see the old posts here from when this line was electrified. Was a VRE station. the dome of the United States Capitol. Crossing over Interstate 395. And in just a moment, we'll be entering the tunnel.
Washington Union Station is the last fresh air break along the Crescent route. This is a crew change and an engine change as we move from diesel to electric engine. We're now on the home stretch as it's only about 90 minutes to get to Wilmington from here.
Building a new platform over there at Baltimore's Penn Station. Adding a couple more tracks.
As we pass through Newark, Delaware, look closely and you'll see some rail fans taking pictures on the platform. One of them took video of our train, which you'll see in a moment. Thanks, Betty.
So here I am in Wilmington. Pretty hot out here.
Well, that's it for this train journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you out on the rails.